it is, what it do, what it is, lads and ladettes. It's your boy Dakota Griswold of Gamers, Nerds, and Geeks United. Welcome back to Yesterday Today. This, of course, is the show where I bring you the news today from yesterday. Now, I got some pretty good sizable stories for you, some appetizers along with a main course. So let's get right into it. Well, we have been still having rumors about the June games for the PlayStation Plus. One of them is already available for download, and that is, of course, Call of Duty World War II. I spoke about it in the previous video, but it's available to download now as it was made available on Memorial Day. Respect. And now we have a rumor talking about, some people going to war on a different front, a fictional front, and that's Star Wars: The Battlefront. And it's some signs pointing to it, but we're not even 100% sure yet. But take this, of course, with a grain of salt. Before we got Spider-Man, now we're getting Battlefront. Battlefront 2, of course, looking more likely than Spider-Man. This game released in 2017, Spider-Man releasing in 2018. And with all of the stuff that was around Battlefront 2, I wouldn't blame if they were ready to, give it away, because they redeemed themselves in a sense, because they just kept supporting this game. Even after the microtransaction fiasco. I was wondering if I would want to download it and play it myself, because I kind of wanted to get into the campaign, but my backlog is so huge at this point. It's whatever. I'll download it, and if I get to it, I'll get to it, because I'm really just curious to see what they do with the campaign. I didn't hear any really super huge bad things about the campaign. I did hear some decent things, so I would absolutely love to play. I do remember playing as Janina Gavankar. She is one of the main characters in the campaign. I do believe she's on the side of the Sith, and then I guess she decides to go to the other side. But that's all I really remember, just offhand. But moving on to the next little small story, that once again there are rumors pointing that there will be a PlayStation 5 reveal event next week. We still don't have any serious proof, but everybody's reporting on it. Comicbook.com, Engadget, and so on and so forth. People are just reporting on it, and with this going on in the masses, I don't know. I say take it with a grain of salt, but I feel like all rumors are true at some point, as I always say, but we have no idea if this is 100% true, and it's not confirmed by PlayStation yet, so I'm really ready to see confirmed. Now, here's what I do want to say is, Epic Game Store is known for giving a free game, but Steam, they hopped on a boat, and right now, as of today, they have 10 Second Ninja X readily available until 1 p.m. today. Not very long, where Epic Game Store really usually has the free games available for a whole week. And speaking of Epic Game Store, I will take you your 10 Second Ninja and raise you a Borderlands Handsome Jack collection. Yes, the Borderlands Handsome Jack collection is free until June 4th. On the Epic Game Store. Yes, free to keep. So just imagine all of that gunplay, all of the loot, and all of that fun at 120 frames per second. 4K. I'm getting excited just thinking about it, but I'm not a PC gamer. Now, for those PC gamers out there who, for some reason, don't own Borderlands, which is already 60, 70, 80, 90 hours of gameplay, plus the DLC included from Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel, I think y'all should jump on this, because why not? It's free. Go for it, because Borderlands for me is a game that you can jump in here and there. And right now I'm playing Borderlands 3, as you may have seen on my Instagram page. I'm having a blast with it. I love first-person shooters, and the fact that you get all of these weapons and you don't know what weapon you're going to be able to get, and it's unpredictable, I'm all for it. Moving on to the next appetizer. So it appears that a game got leaked on Amazon UK. And what are you going to do? And it's called ReZero, The Prophecy of the Throne. And this is, I've heard of this game. I've heard of these games. I'm not very familiar with them. They're Japanese, very Japanese games, of course. But they're visual novels, and that's not really my style. But obviously, there is an audience for it. And it came on the PS4 and the Vita back in 2017. And it coming on a Nintendo Switch. Well, hey. Why not? It's very Japanese. It's a very Japanese system. But now I do want to say that, remember, there was some reports earlier this week and some from last week saying that the Xenoblade Chronicles would be 540p undocked, and it just wouldn't be unstable. It wouldn't be as stable as it should be. The same thing happened with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And here's a review from IGN. They gave it an 8. And going through the article, I saw nothing about the complaints of the resolution. So maybe they ironed that out somehow, because those rumors did happen to come from data miners. And I'm looking to see from any other huge outlets, Game Informer, other places like that, Game Rant, reviews, to hear from them to see if they are having any issues with the resolution. But IGN didn't report any of that. And so moving on to the next story, and now it's time to get into the meat and potatoes. And I saved this one. I'm going to do this one first because I know you guys are tired of hearing me talk about it, but I'm never done talking about it. I absolutely love Last of Us, and I will tell you, today we got to see an in-depth look of the Last of Us gameplay in an 8-minute of unseen gameplay. So what I do want to say is, yeah, I'm very fascinated. You can ride on horseback, you can get in a boat, it's bigger world, and you can use a grappling hook to ascend and descend certain areas. But what I was really interested in was the 8 minutes of gameplay that we saw. First of all, we see Ellie going underwater, sneaking around, and she snuck up on somebody who happened to have their back to the water for some reason, some idiotic reason, with headphones in. But once Ellie catches her, she has a knife to her throat. And you see her hold the device that was playing the music or whatever game she was playing in her hand. It happens to be a PS Vita. As Greg Miller would say, Vita lives. I absolutely love the Vita, but it failed. But is what it is. The gameplay was awesome, and they ended with a cinematic. It's of a person saying, "Hey, you remember me? Yeah, you remember me," and that's where they ended it. It wasn't really a spoiler, but they show her, using bottles and bricks for distractions, and dogs can basically track you no matter where you go. If this dog spots you at one spot and you go around, they can basically follow you. So what you want to do is throw a brick or something to distract them and throw off their senses, and so you can start picking off people. You can basically, if you get in combat, you can basically run away and re-strategize. Or you can also use the environment around you. So of course, this is a zombie style game. If you really want to fight stuff one-on-one, go ahead, go for it. But the smart approach here would be to make a ruckus, get the zombies to attack the people with the guns, pick them off or draw them away for you, and you can go and get easy pickings. Maybe kill them sneakily, and you can get the resources, whatever you need to do. I'm really excited for this. I really hope that y'all are excited for it. But this is the last you'll probably hear about The Last of Us. Any other small news that'll come out, I'll probably talk about it. But for right now, I'm going dark. I can't wait. It's Father's Day weekend. I am so excited. Moving on to the next story. Well, there has been announced 3 Dragon Quest games have been announced. Yes, 3. And it's based off the anime that's coming out later this year. So I'm going to go through them. That Square Enix has announced it. And Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai Crossblade, it has an X and it says Cross. So I'm guessing it says Crossblade, is the arcade release. In this game, players use actual cards produced by Takara Tami when playing. Okay, all right, that sounds kind of cool. Especially if you're a Dragon Quest fan. I am not really a Dragon Quest fan, not really. But then we also have Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. Tamashii no Kizuna is a mobile game announced for iOS and Android, developed by DNA or Dena. The game is being referred to as a dash RPG, so I'm guessing it's an endless runner where you basically upgrade your character. Sounds cool, sounds perfect for a mobile. But then here we go, we got Infinity Strash, Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. This is the console release, and this is no platforms basically, but it's also said to be an action RPG. Now we speaking my language here. When you're talking action RPG and not turn-based, absolutely. Now, once again, I said I am not the hugest Dragon Quest fan, but I do like JRPGs. I like the worlds that they build, and I love anime. So maybe I think this is guaranteed to be on PS4 and obviously Nintendo Switch. These are Japanese companies. Now we don't know what's gonna happen with any Xbox, but I'm willing to see, and I'm really interested because I've played the first Dragon Quest Heroes. It's quite fun. I have Dragon Quest Heroes 2. Didn't even touch it yet because I got it on sale, but I like those kind of games. I don't really usually like the Musou style games, but this game actually seems to have objectives and other stuff too. So I'm actually for it. So I can't wait to see what's to come of all of these Dragon Quest games. If you're any Dragon Quest fans, let me know down in the comments below what you thought of Dragon Quest 11. Hey, Echoes of Elusive Age was pretty bomb. A lot of people loved it. and it sold pretty well, and we got a great version on a Nintendo Switch. But moving on, so Ed Boon, he's saying that a lot of us we're not, the features that aren't being highlighted for next gen with the lower count of load screens. And this is what Ed Boon said. He says, part of the fun is creating interesting load screens between fights, and it'll open doors that weren't considered possible before. More than that. So it's really like saying, like, you know how when you're in the fighting screen and you pick the level, or like right when you get ready to pick the level, you see your two characters fighting at the bottom. So basically what I think he's saying is that it's going to be more innovative things that he can do next gen with a lot of these loading screens or loading times or whatever. Maybe characters will be fighting, or you can start, I have no idea what can happen, but as soon as you pick the character and it going straight into the fighting screen, and I have no idea. But I'm very curious to say, because I love how Mortal Kombat has evolved over the years. Me being a huge Mortal Kombat fan, even from Mortal Kombat 2 with my big brother catching me in the corner and constantly sweeping me, and my 9 or 10-year-old self not being able to defend of it because I didn't have knowledge of fighting games like that. I just knew mash buttons. Now, I will say that I still mash buttons now, but I actually have a little bit more skill than I did at 10 years old. I mean, it's been years, right? So moving on, now I might get a little bit of crap for this, but I'm wondering what in the cheese on bread, what in the Spy Hunter Vigilante 8 Twisted Metal is going on with Fast and Furious Crossroads. A new trailer was released yesterday, and to me, it looked absolutely fun. It is basically a team-based heist game, which actually makes sense for the Fast and the Furious game, because that's what they do in the movies. And they also have Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, and Tyrese Gibson in the games reprising the roles. But they have Sonequa Martin Green, who used to be Sasha on The Walking Dead, who is now on Star Trek Discovery. She is also in the game, and that excites me. Listen, I like a good car combat game. I was a huge fan of Burnout, love Twisted Metal, love Vigilante 8. They didn't remaster Vigilante 8 several times, and I have it quite a few times. These games are fun. This game actually looks pretty fun. Now, the graphics do look a little dated, but it's officially coming out August 7th, so they have some time to touch it up. And, you know, it looks a little rough around the edges, smoothing out those edges, make it a little prettier for the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and I can't wait to see it. Now, it's coming close to a lot of other games, and for $60, I'm not fully sold on it yet. I'm going to definitely get it on sale, most likely, but right now, I think they're onto something here, and I am actually excited about this game, and I can't wait to see more. And now for the final story. Y'all were probably wondering what was going on with Marvel's Avengers. It was already set for a release of September 4th, the same day as Tony Hawk and my birthday, of course. And I'm wondering what was happening. Well, they gave us a little trailer, and they said on June 24th, there will be a War Table stream for this game, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. You see, here's the thing. I might just get Tony Hawk, even though it's very close to Cyberpunk. I might just get Tony Hawk, ride it out, even though I do always have a case of FOMO, fear of missing out. But this is a Destiny Division style games, and what happens with these type of games is there's tend to be server issues. There tend to be all kinds of issues because they weren't expecting a lot of traffic. Because when they first released the trailer, people were complaining that it wasn't the actors from the movies, and they don't really understand that this is a different medium, and they would have had to pay huge bucks to have those same actors. So they're trying to, it's really a different universe. What I did see in a small glimpse in one of the trailers that it was on Instagram is that it seemed like they had a Planet Hulk costume. And listen, I am here for this game. From what I've seen, it excites me, and I actually think it's quite interesting, but I will give it some time to breathe and marinate, and I want to hear from a few people this game is good, the servers are fine, it's actually very, very fun. But lads and ladettes, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, on your way out, hit the like if you liked it. If not, hit the dislike. It's all good either way. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so you know when your boy is posting. Please, play plenty and stay safe. Lads and ladettes, this video is finito.